If you yearn for the traditional taste of delicious crumbly pastries and fluffy cakes, then I have some great news for you. You can now veganize just about any traditional pastry, including cookies, tarts, cakes, and so much more, using 100% alternative plant-based ingredients. Whether you're a curious beginner or a seasoned explorer, get ready to indulge in the most mouth-watering creations. And the results are great tasting pastries, as good as or even better than any traditional baked foods. Hi and welcome, I'm Elaine Perry, and yes, I'm a proud vegan. I want to share something near and dear to my heart. When I first decided to take the leap from eating traditional baked goods like bread, cakes, and cookies to some of the vegan alternatives, I was a little dismayed to say the least. I'm sure you know what I mean. Although I was just another clueless vegan baker, just Googling recipes, I just couldn't find any that were worth the time and effort. So I first tried baking all of my old favorite goods using all kinds of substitutes. And to be honest, everything turned out a complete mess. It was a mess. My kitchen was a mess, and my cooking was nothing more than waste destined for the bin. Yes, complete garbage. I just didn't know what I was doing. I was beginning to wonder whether I would ever manage to bake delicious and satisfying baked goods as the non-vegan versions. The truth is, I was in total despair, and I wasn't the only one. Some of my vegan friends were also struggling to bake vegan food that was tasty, interesting, and nutritious. Well, being a very resourceful kind of gal, I had to do something about this problem. So I took it upon myself to begin researching suitable alternatives for milk, butter, eggs, cheese, and honey. Well, that wasn't easy. I desperately wanted to create my favorite muffins, pancakes, croissant, and chocolate brownies. But using only plant-based ingredients in my baking proved to be really challenging. However, I persevered. And every time I failed, I started right back over and tried a different approach. I began spending virtually all of my time in the kitchen, and there were times when my kitchen looked like a battlefield. I had stopped going out, I stopped talking to my husband, and I had very little time for my friends. I became a virtual recluse. I was practically living in my kitchen. Soon enough, people started calling me the crazy vegan scientist because I was creating all sorts of unusual doughs and cake mixes. But I was determined to achieve everything that I set out to do. I must admit though, I never expected it to take more than 2 years. Well, that's how long it has taken me to finally create some of the most wonderful vegan food recipes you'll find anywhere. Now I'm really proud to announce that you can veganize just about any type of traditional baking and produce your own delicious plant-based pastries to rival that of any traditional baked products. Because I have documented everything so that you or anyone could easily follow my plant-based recipes from start to finish, regardless of your baking ability or experience. Introducing Veganize Baking, your key to creating mouth-watering, cruelty-free treats that will delight your taste buds. I've made Veganize Baking into a downloadable ebook, which makes it easily accessible to all you lovely vegans out there. In my book, you'll find a collection of 100 mouth-watering baked goods, and including desserts. Yes, 100! It's no wonder I took so long, right? Well, actually, I did get a little carried away at times. Now, you may be wondering, why did I go the extra mile? Well, I created this cookbook to provide you with double the variety, so you'll never run out of delicious treats to satisfy your cravings, impress your guests, and unleash your creativity in the kitchen. So say goodbye to endless browsing for recipes. My Veganize Baking Guide covers all your baking needs. Everything is laid out in the step-by-step guide to creating all your baking classics like cakes, muffins, biscuits, and brownies, and other delicious treats. The guide is packed with lots of tips and simple instructions that anyone can follow. With the Veganize Baking Guide by your side, you'll never stop saying, "I can't believe it's vegan." So in effect, my recipe book is much more than just a collection of recipes. It's a complete plant-based only vegan baking program. The best part is, many of these special vegan goods can be baked within just 15 minutes. Yes, your favorite traditional baked food made completely from plant-based ingredients and ready to eat in just minutes. And get instant access to veganized baking recipes today. You'll discover so much more in-depth information to take your vegan baking to the next level.